Welcome to our professional development session. In the mid-1990s, the New London Group proposed a manifesto, and they called it Multiliteracies. It was a response to the social and technological advances of the age and the effects the times were having on education. In the first part of today's PD, we're going to cover the what and the background of the New London Group's proposal. And in the second part, we'll introduce the how of multimodal representation and practice, and what we can do to incorporate multiliteracy approaches in the classroom. Multiliteracies means using more than one form of literacy approach to make meaning. It happens through reading, writing, all subject learning, and communication in general. The New London Group responded to a historical alphabet-based literacy and proposed that it wasn't the only way to learn. Such traditional approaches were based on standardization for education and conforming difference, turning it into the same shape. The digital and social worlds of the 21st century have progressed fast and in complex ways. We need to adapt, and teaching and learning needs to respond more than ever to the social worlds that are forming and to the digital age that we find ourselves in. Learners need more than a singular standard literacy, and we as teachers need to help them gain these tools and learn to use them. We can hardly envisage the technological change that has happened or that lies ahead, and it influences the social order and makes the social world of young people completely different to what it was when we were young. Gender equality, access to education, the language around politics, religion and culture, economic status, all of these things are high in the priorities of the New London Group's approach to bringing multiliteracies forward. In part 2 of our PD, we're looking at the how of multiliteracies, at multimodal representation and practice. Traditional literacy learning was based on repetition, replication, and it aimed for stability and uniformity. By contrast, learning by design involves the learner as a creator and a recreator. It involves experience, subjective input, and agency. Applied design becomes an expression of the learner's identity. It includes the learner in a whole new way. Applying multiliteracies involves using different modes, and as we can see, not just the traditional linguistic book-based, text-based, but also spatial and gestural, oral and visual inputs can be used collaboratively to make meaning. Taking modalities a step further, the New London Group proposed a model. Like modalities, it's designed for integration and accommodates different learning styles. Overt instruction is the prevailing approach to teaching historically, but incorporating experience, critical framing, and application to instruction changes the focus and opens the door to inclusive, broad meaning-making.
Experiencing is based in situated practice, and it's around discovering new knowledge, rediscovering old knowledge, and reinterpreting. Conceptualizing constitutes overt instruction and is the most traditional form of knowledge acquisition and inquiry-based learning. Analyzing means approaching learning critically and framing learning through questions and through critical thinking. Applying learning looks like transformed practice, where application is appropriate and creative, and we learn by doing. So to summarize, we use technologies as much as we can in different ways in the learning process, both as teachers and to inspire our students. We use multimodal practice and look at the different modalities that we can incorporate into the learning and inquiry process. And finally, we use a model that incorporates experience, application, critical thinking, and conceptualizing. And there's much more to talk about and learn, but we'll leave you with that.